Hello everyone, my name is, I hope you're doing well. My name is Hafez, I'm a legal advisor in Boundless Consultancy. I would like to thank you all for attending this event. This event will be available on our Facebook page and on our YouTube. So if you miss it now, you just can come back to it later, or you can watch it in the future on our YouTube channel. Just a small introduction of Boundless Consultancy. We are a team of legal advisors helping expats, migrants, and local people, of course, who wants legal advice in subjects ranging from migration to social security, labor law, family matters, and poursuite. This is for the one who lives in Switzerland. Today's subject is very interesting subject for those who wish to immigrate to Switzerland for studying or to work or to retire. That's also possible. And also for those who are having problem with the migration office, they can just contact us and come to us anytime. Before I start, I would like to mention that today's session is talking about migration rules in general, and we're not going to go into details, but please, if you have any private matters and you don't want to share it in public, just contact us here on Facebook or go to our website and book a free appointment. We offer 45-minute free consultation. Just book your free appointment on our website, boundlessconsultancy.ch, and we will be very happy to help you out. Another things I would like to mention that today event is targeting people who came from third-party national, we call them. That means they are not EU citizen or EFTA citizen, Iceland, Liechtenstein, or Norway. No, I don't see any questions today. I wish and I hope this event will be interactive. I'm looking forward to receiving all your questions, and I will be very happy to answer them. If you don't have any question now, you can also come back to us later, either through our Facebook page or on LinkedIn or on Google, whatever you want, or our website, boundlessconsultancy.ch. Now, if I don't see any question, I will start asking question and I will answer the questions basically. First, I will start with student permit. First, I will define what is the permit in Switzerland, residency permits. We have something called B permit. This is B permit, can be student permit, can be work permit, can be family reunification permits, and can be refugees permit. B permit is the standard permit. Let's say it allows you to go to have a contract, to rent apartment, it's a very good permit in general, and we have also C permit. C permit, it's an indefinite permit. When I say indefinite permit here in Switzerland, it's for 5 years. You can renew it again for an indefinite period. But it's unconditional permit, which I will explain. Normally, when you get your B permit will be rely on your job, on your work, on your study. So if you, for example, you stop studying, then you lose your permit. C permit, you don't lose it. It's unconditional. If you're still working or you're not working, it doesn't matter. You can have it forever. And we have CDL permit. This is for the people who work for the international organization, for NGOs, like very big NGOs, of course, like Médecins Sans Frontières, Red Cross, and many others. We have CI permit. This is for the spouse, partners, children of the people who work for the international organization. And we have F permit, we have F humanitarian permit, and F refugees permit. Now I will start talking about the student permit for those who wish to come to Switzerland to study, and I will separate them both. We have the same condition, but I will talk about the people who wish to come to study bachelor degree and people who wish to come to study masters and higher level. Now, of course, you all know that Switzerland has one of the best universities in the world, and Geneva has one of the best for subject for international law, human rights, and many others. So, what are the conditions, and what do you need basically? Well, the first condition you need to have, of course, it's the university or the education establishment approval, and because when you get approval from the university, basically you fulfill the permission, the conditions they need at the university. So think about before you apply for any university that to check if this university or institution is accredited by by the Swiss authorities to sponsor foreign students. That's a very important point because some students come to us or some people come to us to ask for the student permit while they are enrolled basically in a small course like 2 hours a week or 5 hours a week. That's not enough. You need to have minimum 20 hours a week of studying to be able to apply for a B permit or student permit, sorry. You must to prove that you have a rent accommodation, of course. You're not gonna, you need to contact the university or find a room. That's not that's not the issue. And of course, you need to show that you have a sufficient financial resources to live throughout your studies. And this can be done either through a sponsorship from someone Swiss, or have a C permit, or have a B permit. They need to write a letter that they guarantee that you live with them, that they will take care of all your expenses, etc. And there's another possibility if you have the money or your parents have the money, you can show them that you have sufficient amount of money, and I will come back to say what is sufficient in Switzerland. Or the third option is if you have a scholarship, basically you just show them that you gained a scholarship, and the scholarship will cover everything from your study to your food to your accommodation. Sufficient amount of money per month for student between 1,800 and 2,000 francs per month for the whole duration. So if you decided to study for 1 year master, you need to have minimum 20,000, not minimum, but I would say around 20,000. And yeah, that's it basically. And then we come to the most important point, which is motivation letter or educational plan, let's say, or both sometimes. So motivation letter or the educational plan, in this educational plan, you need to show the authorities that basically why do you want to come to Switzerland and why you chose this university. And that you want to, basically your real intention is to come and study, not to just live in Switzerland or work on Switzerland. So I will talk first. This is easier for the people who has a bachelor degree, because when you apply with the bachelor degree, the condition are your age first is you're younger, and you can say anything because you chose Switzerland because Switzerland is very famous in this program, in that program, and they will ask, for example, if the program you chose exists in your home country, why didn't you choose your home country? Or they won't ask. You need to all answer the question before they ask it. That's the best idea you can do. So basically, if you want to come here and study, let's say, human rights law, and you have a human rights law in your own country, then you can say that I want to go to Switzerland because Switzerland is very well known for their human rights program. I might have some professional experience being next to the Human Rights Council here in Geneva, and etc. For those who wish to study master's degree, it's more difficult. because you have to prove your educational plan should be very, very, very well written, and your objects from the studying in Switzerland, they should very, very well be mentioned in every single details. So, for example, you need to show them that you chose a program, any given program, and you can, for example, insert a letter from your employer or from your boss saying if this person completed this master degree or this higher certificate, he will get a better job in this company, he will get a better job in the future. That's, you need to focus when you are in a master's level, you need to focus in your future career, basically, not on your education alone. So you need to mention why this is important for you, why this is not important, and etc. But please focus on your future career. Swiss authorities, they like you to be clear, and you have everything, all your plan from A to Z. I want to study this because, as I said, as I mentioned, and please, if you want to change your study, you are allowed to change anytime, but you need to prove that again, because when you change from one faculty to other faculty or from one subject to other subject, you need to show them why you're changing, why, what's changed, what happened. And in the future we will have some some events talking about subject of the people who changed their subject, what happened to them, and everything. I still see no questions, so I'm just gonna go forward, continue. Please, if you have any questions, as I said, if you feel free asking here. If you don't feel like asking in public, please go to our page on Facebook, or basically simply contact us through our website, boundlessconsultancy.ch. Now, while you study, of course, you need to make some money because Switzerland is very, very expensive. You are allowed as a student with a student permit to work up to 15 hours per week during your courses, but make sure that you ask university first, because there is an issue if the authorities in Switzerland, they have the right to ask if you are attending your courses, if you're doing your exams, or you are basically doing your everything in the university or not. So if the university respond in negative, then you might lose your student permit and they will cancel your visa and send you back home. The fees in Switzerland for studying in Switzerland is around 1,200 per year. So it's not too much, but it's not too much for the student. But you need to keep in your mind that the canton or the Swiss authorities subsidize the university for each student around 12 to 13,000 per year. So that's why they are so picky. That's why they want to choose the people who they think they will just want to study, basically study, and not just to want to stay or work. Now, I still don't see any questions. Please ask any question you have. I will move forward to the next topic, which is for people who wish to come to Switzerland and work in Switzerland. And first, I will talk about the people who like to work as employee, and I will target my speech as well to the employer, because the employer has a very big part to play in this subject. He is basically the one who needs to do most of the procedure. So, as a person, the Switzerland looks at you that your presence in Switzerland needs to be in the country's economic interest. Now, what does that mean? It's very difficult to say, as no one can define what is the country's economic interest. It's a very vague, it's a very vague term. So it's always been case by case. I cannot give you definition for that one, but I will say it depends on the canton, it depends on the sector, it depends on many things. And now the employer, your future employer or the employer should, first of all, that's the document he should send, the form for the permits, the B permit, that we call it here the M form, your CV, obviously, your certificate and diploma, and prove that you got the apartment, you rented, you find a suitable accommodation, and of course a copy of your contract with mentioning what you're gonna do and how much you're gonna get, your salary and everything. Now the tricky point is that one of this document called evidence that your employer has made a lot of efforts to find a suitable candidate from Switzerland or EU EFTA nationals. From Switzerland, not only Swiss nationals, everyone in Switzerland with any permits, B permit, C permit, and L permit. Now, I didn't mention the L permit, sorry, before. L permit is a short-term permit, which is renewable for maximum 2 years. It's 1 year permit. Now, the difficulty is here that the employer, that it's not sufficient for him to show that he published the job offer on LinkedIn, on JobUp, on the local newspaper. That's not enough. He needs to do more than that. He needs First of all, he needs to notify the regional employment office. This is the first approval he needs to get from the regional employment office. And of course, the regional employment office, all the time almost, they send some candidates that they think that they have the same qualities and the same qualification as the person you're looking to hire or yourself. So basically, because they want to hire the people they are registered in the unemployment office, so they will send you, let's say, three candidates. When if you refuse to hire these three candidates, you need to show why you didn't hire, what's missing from them, and you can say, for example, they don't speak the language, blah blah. There are many things you can say. Now, recently the courts asking the employer also to go to this agence de placement or placement agency. They asking to the manager, to the employer to go there and ask them to find someone for you. And you need to also publish, this is important point, it's not enough to publish in JobUp or LinkedIn or Facebook or whatever. You need to publish in Switzerland. There's a platform called Plasta, and in the EU there is one called EURES for the EU citizen. Now we move to the conditions you have to have, because if you in Switzerland there is a quota how many people are allowed to come to Switzerland and work in Switzerland. Every year the Federal Council in Switzerland, they put a number of people. This year I think it's around 4,500. And for each canton there is a quota as well. In Geneva it's around 200, I guess. In Zurich it's more. In small canton it's less. But that doesn't mean if Switzerland, if Geneva, sorry, doesn't have any, they already finished their quota, that they cannot hire you. They can still ask the council, the Federal Council, to give them some of their quota. So this is the quota basically. This quota apply for the B permit and for the short-term permit. Most of the information I'm saying today, you can find it in our website. We did our platform, boundlessconsultancy.ch is you can find all the information, everything I'm talking about now, you can find in our website. And then there is the order of priority. This is what I just mentioned, why he needs to find, that's the employer, he needs to find someone from Switzerland and the EU, because they have a priority to be hired than most of people from around the world. Now there's a very important point as well, your personal qualities. You have to be very qualified person. Switzerland basically as a country and all around the world now, everyone is looking for qualified people. So I cannot also, this is a very vague the term. I don't know what is exactly qualified people. Some people can have a very long experience, they can consider qualified. Director, specialist, you have professional experience, significant years of professional experience, you are a translator, for example, etc. So it's very difficult to say what is the personal qualities, but it's important as well. Now you have to find a suitable accommodation, and please keep in mind that here when they say 4 pieces apartment, it's like 2 bedrooms and one saloon and a kitchen. So the kitchen sometimes they count it as a piece. So that's it. I still don't see any questions, no comments, so I will move forward to the next subject is retirement. I'm just going to briefly explain the condition of retirement because this is to people who wish to retire in Switzerland. Basically, you need to be 55 years old or over. You must have a close personal ties to Switzerland. And when I say personal ties to Switzerland, this is also terms, very vague terms. But what we understood from that's not enough if you have only family. You need to have more than that. You work, for example, 10 years in the past, 5 years. You spend a lot of holidays in Switzerland, and you maybe came here to for health problems or something, and you have also family. That's another subject, but alone is not enough. You have a sufficient financial resources. Do you need to prove you have a pension fund? You're receiving pensions, which amount you have to prove that you have sufficient, because basically they don't want you to go and have some state aid or welfare. If you need for retirement, you can just go to our website, check the condition, and if you still have any question, we will be very happy to answer it. Just book your free appointment. It's very easy in our website, and contact us here if you like. It's up to you. Now I'm going to talk about family reunification. That's for people who are already in Switzerland. As I said in the beginning, we are not only targeting the people who would like to come to Switzerland, but also Swiss people or Swiss residents. So the family reunification, if you are a Swiss citizen, basically it's easier, and there is a delay to apply for it. Be careful of the delay. And there is another delay when you want to do a family reunification. The person will get a visa D, we call it family reunification, and then when you arrive to Switzerland, they must go to the migration office as soon as they can. I think within 2 weeks max. So they need to present themselves, and when I say present themselves, there is another conditions. I'm not going to go into details now. As I said before, it's going to be there's many things we can talk about forever, but here we're just going to briefly introduce the rules in Switzerland. So if you have a settled status, C permit, indefinite permit, you have to fulfill some conditions. The first one, if you have to live together in suitable accommodation, which means that you have to have a big apartment. You're not gonna live family, 4 people in a studio to 15, 20 meters, square meters. You are not dependent on state welfare and state welfare, and you don't receive any supplementary benefit. We explain what is this on our website. Just go to our website and check all of these conditions. And for your spouse or partner, they must be able to communicate in one of the local languages in Switzerland. We have 4 languages: French, Italian, German, of course, and Romansh. This is a local language. And if you have a C permit for your children, less than 12 years old, they will get your C permit as well. Above 12 years old to 17, they will get B permit. Your partner or spouse will get B permit. And yes, if you have a B permit, now if you work in Switzerland and you have a B permit, basically the same condition: live together in a suitable accommodation. You don't have a state welfare. You don't receive any supplementary benefit. And as I said, there is a language requirement you have to have. And yeah. But sometimes we have some student who have a B permit, obviously, but they want to have to bring their spouse or partners. The problem is that you need to have the financial the means to bring them. So if you're a student, basically, if you have if you have money, it's okay. There is no problem. But if you are a student working 15 hours, that won't be enough to cover two people plus children. So I'm gonna say how much you need roughly to be able. For one person is like 900, let's say 1,000. For two people it's like 1,500, and for three people 1,850 and more. This is the minimum I'm saying. Four people they need to have 2,140. Five people 2,500, and every single person more than that 200 and more. Will your family have the right to work? Of course, they will have the right to work. They will get, as I say, either your children, they will get the B permit that will allow them to work, and they can move from B to C permit in 10 years or 5 years, depends on the nationality of the couple. Now there is a very tough question. I'm not gonna answer it, but please, if you are in this situation, contact us, and we might be able to help you. What if the family break up? What if the couple get divorced, or one of them died or something? In this situation, it's always case by case. So if you are in one of this situation, please contact us on Facebook, on our website, book your free appointment with one of our advisors, and we will be very happy to help you. Now I don't see any questions. I'm gonna move a little bit to talk about the carte de légitimation. This is for people who work for the international organizations. Basically, everyone works on the international organization, and the NGOs, very big NGOs, Médecins Sans Frontières, Red Cross, they are entitled to carte de légitimation. When I have carte de légitimation, it's kind of permit. It's not 100% permit. They don't have the same benefit as the B permit or C permit, but they are allowed to stay in Switzerland. They can contract with someone. They can do basically they can live as Swiss people. And one of the question is that as a CDL holder, you don't pay taxes like first, we call it first pilier and deuxième pilier. And this is the first pillar, second pillar, pension, Swiss pension, the state pension. And basically you're paying that. I know for the people who work in the international organization, they pay their share in the international organization. That is different things. We cannot treat it here in any way. If you work for the international organization and you want to stay after your contract ends, there is some conditions. It's also case by case, but you need to know that the ordinary procedure will apply to you. If you are less than 55 years old, you didn't reach the age of retirement, and you need to have also the same condition for work permit and the same condition for student permit. Now, the family member of the main holder, not only the family, because he can bring his girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, basically they are allowed to work. They will get something called CI permit. This is CI permit will allow you to work, and you have the same privilege as the Swiss people or the Swiss B permit holder or C permit holder. Children will be also dependent on the main holder of the carte de légitimation. When the main holder lose the carte, basically everyone will lose their permits. And children beyond from 21 to 25, they're not eligible to get the CI permit. They can stay in Switzerland without having the privilege to get access to the Swiss market. And there's one tricky situation. What happens when you separate with the main holder, or when you divorce, or when he dies, the main holder of the CDL permit? Well, this is a very tough situation for everyone. We recommend that you come to us. This is also case by case. We need to see the level of integration you have, the language you speak, the qualification. There are many aspects we need to put together to be able to ask for a permit for you, and you are in this case. But I know that some people they face the violence at home, any kind of violence, and they are afraid to seek legal advice because they don't want to leave Switzerland or lose their CDL or CI permit. Please, if you are in one of these situations, just contact us here or go to our website, book your free consultation. It's a free consultation, so there is no harm of asking for advice, and if you are in this situation. Now I will move to people with a B permit who would like to ask for a C permit, which is, as I said in the beginning, it's indefinite and unconditional permits. So basic eligibility criteria is you have to have a 10-year residence in total, the 5 years immediately prior to applying to Switzerland, you are in Switzerland. And you have to be sufficiently integrated. That means you respect public safety and order, the value of the Swiss constitution. You can communicate in one of the 4 languages, and you are either working or studying in higher education. And to count this 10 years, that the only residence permit B or L that will be counted for CDL people, that their situation is not going to be counted, unfortunately, after they changed the rules in 2018. And to count your student, the period when you were a student on B permit, this is very difficult as well, because at the end of your student permit, you have to have a B permit, working permit. And we tried to explain this, and we wrote a table and we put it on our website to explain. We give many scenarios. You can go to our website and check the scenario we put for you, and you see if you still have any questions. Please, you can contact us anytime, either Facebook or on our website or on LinkedIn, whatever suits you the best. Now there is a possibility for people who are exceptionally integrated, let's say, to apply for a C permit earlier than the 10 years, so after 5 years basically. Some countries in the EU that are allowed, they are eligible already to apply for a C permit after 5 years. France is one of them, Germany, and I'm not going to list them all, but basically yes. When I say this is also case by case, but you have to prove that you're exceptionally well integrated and you can communicate, you studied here, you work in something like they need in Switzerland. That's also case by case. We will be very happy to help you. If you have any question about that, you can come to us anytime. Make sure that you can also lose your C permit. When I say it's indefinite, it is indefinite, but there is some cases where you can lose it. One of them, if you commit any crime in Switzerland, when I say crime, it's the criminal offenses, not necessary to be a very big crime. You might lose your C permit, and if you leave the country without declaring to the migration office for more than 6 months, even if you come to visit from time to time, that's not enough. You need to have your residence, your premier residence in Switzerland, and not just visiting. I still don't see any questions. I am almost at the end of the migration rules. Now I'm going to talk about Swiss citizenship. That's a very important subject for everyone who wish to get the Swiss nationality, because as you know, Swiss nationality can have a lot of benefits. One of them, if you can, you can enter, I think, 91 countries without visa, and you know, Swiss quality life is very, very high. So becoming Swiss citizen is important for many people. Now there is two ways to apply for citizenship. There is the ordinary naturalization and there is the simplified naturalization. The ordinary one is for if you are not married to a Swiss citizen or you not have any partnership with a Swiss citizen. That's what we call it, the ordinary one. Basically, now the condition changed since 2018. They make it more difficult for some people, less difficult for other people. And now the condition before was 12 years, now it's 10 years. But in this, you need to have you hold a C permit. And to get into this C permit wasn't the case before. To get the C permit, you need to have a B permit. In order to have the B permit, it should be not student permit. It should be, as I said before, in the table we made, it should be working permit. They will count the student permit. It's a very complex one. So if you have any question, just go to our website. You can find the answer there. And you are very well integrated. You are familiar with Swiss life. You need to show that you are basically you do some volunteering. You have some political opinion. You participate in the politics. Let's say in the way or another, they will ask you like, what was the initiative last votation? What did the Swiss people decided? The geographic question, many things actually. There's a test for all of this. And of course you need to have a sufficient you work, you have sufficient money, you basically you work. That's what they need actually. And your application first will go to the Secretariat d'État de Migration. This is in the federal level, and the federal level if they will give you approval to go forward. That doesn't mean you will get the nationality, but that's mean you go forward. And then you apply to the cantonal level. In the cantonal level, depends from canton to canton. Some of them needs you to stay in the canton for 3 years. Some of them they will ask you to stay in the canton for 5 years. And of course, you need to respect the public order and security. You will respect the Swiss constitution and the cantonal constitution. And you are in a position to provide for yourself and your family. You are working. You speak the language. You have to have B1 level or A1. This is European level, and you haven't been reliant on state welfare for the last 3 years, I guess, or more. We had the last 3 years. And then you have the approval from the commune. In Switzerland, we have 3 levels. We have the federal level, we have the cantonal level, and we have the communal level, which is the town, basically. This is different from commune to. We cannot generalize all of it, but if you're interested, you can just look at our website and you will find all the conditions. Even if you didn't get approval from the communal level, you still can appeal this decision to the cantonal level, which Conseil d'État we call them. They will look at it, and then if you get approval from that level, it's okay. You don't have any problem. Simplified naturalization is for people, as I said, that married to a Swiss citizen or by descent, provided that you have married for at least 3 years, you have lived in Switzerland for at least 5 years in total, including your immediately preceding the one before you ask for it. You are very well integrated, and there is if there is more conditions, you can find them in our website. There is now, after the last 2 years, they voted for third generation immigrants. There's some condition for these people as well. The procedure will take from, let's say, 1 year to 18 months, sometimes more, and it will cost you from 400 to, in this federal level, you need to add the communal level and cantonal level. All of this information I'm talking about today, you can find on our website. I give you more information today, so if you would like, just this video will be on our page on Facebook. We will put it on YouTube. Q&A, migration rules, boundless consultancy, We will have in the future some events about social security. What is the AVS? What is the first pillar? What is the second pillar? What is the third pillar? And we will talk about some employment, labor law. We will choose some subject that interested for everyone, that interest everyone. We will also have analyze some case law from the Swiss Supreme Court. For example, why a student don't get visa, why don't they get refused, what did they do wrong, and basically, if you have any subject you would like us to talk about, you can just drop us an email, contact us on Facebook, or contact us through our website. We will be very happy to listen to your suggestion, and in the future do it. There's no problem. We also will have some family matters and events. If you want to get married, if you're looking to get divorced, what you should do, and many other things. So I'm done talking, I guess. I talked for 40 minutes. I hope I wasn't boring for you. And I don't see any questions. Please, if you have any questions in the future, just drop us a message on Facebook, or just go to our website, boundlessconsultancy.ch, and we will be very happy to help you. And we offer you the first appointment always for free. There is a 45 minutes. You can come and ask any question you have. And as I said, our advisor will be very happy to help you. We will have a blog soon. We will have some subject, for example, in the COVID subject, the relation between England and the UK and Switzerland, concerning the first the pensions, and we will talk about COVID and employment. So just visit our website, but all of this blog will be also on Facebook. So follow us, rate us, and thank you everyone. I don't see any questions, so I'm gonna end this video. Thank you everyone. Have a good day. Bye bye.